Hello and welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of July 31st. July 31st, Catherine. Where did the summer go? I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Halecko.
Hello.
Previous on this podcast, we chatted about what parents were talking, complaining, and obsessing about each week and brought you short daily episodes. But these days, we bring you a weekly episode to talk about parenting in a more roundabout way. And a much longer and wordier way, but you can you could just listen to 10 minutes of it at a time and spread it out through your week that way.
Yeah.
You have our permission. So to start today, we're going to talk about something actually kind of both entertainment and parenting related, which is the Barbie movie. Catherine, you saw the Barbie movie.
I did, and I saw it with my daughter.
Aww.
So it was there were mother-daughter themes in the movie for sure.
Aww.
And we saw it together, and we both really
Nice.
enjoyed it. And in fact, my own mother saw it.
Oh.
My mom and my dad, who are both, the other side of 80, saw this movie with my sister-in-law, actually, and they all loved it.
Aww.
So, multi-generational, absolutely.
I have heard mostly good things about it.
Yeah.
And if I were the sort of person who went to theaters, I'd probably...
Right.
Did you get to take a picture in the big Barbie box or whatever they seem to have everywhere?
They did not have that at the somewhat sketchy theater we went to. So we were in a beach town on Lake Michigan. And it was like an old theater that was right downtown. It wasn't like a big chain. It was a smaller theater. And to that end, our 2 tickets combined cost $12.
Oh my goodness. Well, then it's worth not getting the photo op.
Absolutely. We were like, did we do this right? Because we did buy them, online beforehand. And my daughter was like, this says they're $5.50 each. Like, how? What?
Wow.
But it was...
Was the popcorn like $50?
We did not get any popcorn.
Sure, come in. Cheap movies. By the way, would you like a soda?
And there
take
were also
Visa and MasterCard.
Right. There were big signs: no blankets, backpacks, and no bare feet.
Whoa. Well, I guess that's a beach town, right?
Yeah. So yeah, but we both really enjoyed the movie. It's so funny, but it also has, it has heft to it. It has, messages about feminism and just humanity and personhood and relationships, and Ryan Gosling just is so funny.
He looks like he's really going for it.
Oh,
in what I've seen of it.
It's just
good for him.
And just all the Kens are amusing. Like Simu Liu, is that how you say his name? Plays sort of the most antagonistic Ken to Ryan Gosling's Ken, and all the Ken in Barbie Land. The Ken's job is beach. Like, not lifeguard, it's beach, meaning like hang out at the...
Right.
So, it's just very, very funny.
That sounds fun.
And America Ferrara is great, and there's a young actor named Ariana Greenblatt who plays America Ferrara's daughter, as, starts out as a surly we does have a bit of an arc throughout the movie. So yeah, it's so entertaining. We've enjoyed it so much.
I have residual affection for Barbie as a property from my youth. Were you into Barbies? I was seriously into Barbies.
I wouldn't say seriously into Barbies, but definitely played with them. We had most of the Barbies we had were inherited from my grandmother's stepdaughter. Like, I don't even know if we ever met this person. Because my grandmother's husband died. Anyway.
It's complicated.
Yes. But they were pretty old. This was the 70s, and these were definitely like 60s Barbies.
Yeah.
So we played with those mostly. But we had other ones too. So
I think I had 60s Barbies in the 60s when I was growing up. And, but I had an old one. It must have been from the 50s. When did these all start? Because I had a Midge that was not new. I don't think Midge was made during my childhood.
Right.
It was all Barbie and Skipper and various other 60s-ish names.
Barbie launched in 1959.
Oh, really? Well, the same year I was launched. So, okay. Well, I don't know where Midge came from, but I think she was a hand-me-down. She had short, wiry hair. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I think my love of playing with Barbies was somewhat informed by the soap operas I watched with my mother. And so the Barbies had very traumatic lives.
Right.
I think there was a kidnapping and blood transfusion at one point. And, then there was the time that one of my Barbies got her toes cut off.
Oh.
My mom had made her a skirt and was hemming it a little too late after it had been put on. And the tragedy of a Barbie that gets its toes cut off is that it can no longer wear shoes.
Right. That's a whole plot point in the movie, as I'm sure you've heard.
No, I have not heard. Do they have that as a plot point?
Well, there's
somebody's stealing my childhood.
No, it's that the Margot Robbie Barbie wakes up one day and her feet go flat. So she doesn't have
skipper shoes.
She doesn't have the tiptoes that allow her to wear heels comfortably. So it's a big turning point in the movie.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that's when she has to go visit Weird Barbie, which is Kate McKinnon. And Weird Barbie explains to her that she has a choice between wearing heels and Birkenstocks at this point. So, yes, it's all part of the
interesting
plot. So,
well,
yeah, Kate McKinnon is hilarious, as you would expect.
Yeah, it certainly is having its mark on the culture, this movie, because we've gotten an email from a publicist talking about Barbie core in your decorating scheme, and then one from another publicist talking about Ken core in your decorating scheme. So it's going to be a thing, I guess, for a little while.
And amazingly, there isn't too much of a backlash against the just juggernaut of promotion and marketing, because like, as you said, you can't turn a corner without, I passed a Cold Stone Creamery that was advertising, Barbie ice cream, whatever, yeah.
Well, it is Barbie,
Yes.
It's a movie about a relentlessly marketed product, so
that's right.
Why not? Well, congratulations on seeing something new and trendy. Yes. And surely eventually it'll come to streaming, right?
Oh, I'm sure it will.
I'll be able to rent it on Amazon or iTunes, if nothing else.
Well, and just the other day at the library, the DVD of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret came through. And that just came out this summer. Or maybe the spring. And I was interested in that as well. Speaking of mother-daughter stories.
And properties from one's youth.
Yes. So I'm interested in that. And I've been interested forever in Greta Gerwig's Little Women. Greta Gerwig, the director of Barbie.
Right.
So, that moves up the list.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'd like to see
And
that.
she directed Lady Bird also, right? We watched that.
Yes, which we did watch. Mm-hmm. And enjoyed.
Yes. So
Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah. Like Little Women I'm curious about. I liked I still relate to the one with, what year was that from, with Winona Ryder and Trini Alvarado and Susan Sarandon and Kirsten Dunst, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
This
Like
and of course that was to anybody older than me was like, oh, this newfangled thing.
Right.
There's been generations of this movie, so but I would be curious to see this cast. I think they would be good.
Yeah.
So tuck that away for when we run out of things to talk about on round 2.
Right.
But this week we have 2 things to talk about on round 2. One is about at its midpoint for this season, and the other one we are coming, I think, perilously close to the end of our patience with. But the first was the Afterparty, Season 2, Episode 4, titled Hannah. And as we've discussed, one of the conceits of this show is that every week is done in a different sort of cinematic style, a different theme. We've had a rom-com, we've had a historical romance, we've had a film noir, and this week, delightfully, I believe the style was Wes Anderson.
Right. They on IMDb they chose to call it a twee indie movie, but we all know what
we
they
know
mean.
who you mean.
We know what you're talking about.
You were not subtle.
You're not fooling anyone. Yes, it was extremely fun.
That was delightful and unexpected.
Yes.
Hannah, who was the frequently mentioned adopted sister of the victim, tells her story, which involves her having an affair with the bride-to-be, or now the bride now, but and therefore wanting to stop the wedding, as Travis had mentioned last week, because she wanted Grace. But then she heard her brother declare love for Grace in a way that is his own, and decided not to do anything about it.
Right.
But now that he's dead, the effect of this episode was to make Grace look really guilty, I think. So, and she's already told her story, so.
Right. But in the first one, the person who did it told his story fairly early on.
That's true. That's true. So I don't know.
You know,
it's too easy for that to be the case. It's too soon in the season, but
right. And also Sebastian, who's up next,
yes,
has been, you know, twirling his mustache from day one.
Yes,
so.
I would be quite delighted if he was the murderer, but he's a little too on the nose.
Exactly. So
do we think next week is going to be like a business drama?
I believe the term was heist.
Heist. Oh, a heist. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds fun.
Yes.
But he just seems like a not good guy.
No, definitely not. This one was a lot of fun. Probably not enough Elizabeth Perkins. Could have used more of her.
Almost none. Yeah. She could fit in a Wes Anderson mold. Come on. They needed to work with that a little bit. She could have been fun.
Yeah.
But John Cho catching the arrow. That was fun.
I look forward to his episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But,
and in this episode, Anik was less bumbling than he has been.
He was just less entirely. He
less
did
everything.
Virtually nothing. Was this one shorter than the others? It was just
maybe
over
by
half
a
an
few
hour,
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed to have really not that much to say and did it in a very artful way. And so it was really more about the, hey, look at us make a Wes Anderson mini movie than it was about anything the story, which they did well.
Yeah.
Even I, who am not that much of a film connoisseur, could recognize it.
Yeah, it was it was quite clear.
It was. But I'm not that I'm complaining. It's fine. It did definitely introduce a little wrinkle into the storyline.
Right.
And the actress who plays Hannah did a great job of that sort of flat effect. And,
right. I mean, do we think they cast her from the beginning to look like Gwyneth Paltrow
I think so.
in the Royal Tenenbaums?
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Because that's what she was giving, for sure.
Yeah. Very, very well done. They're just having fun with this at this point. Yeah. And I've been wondering for an episode or two what is keeping all these people there? There is no police forbidding them to leave.
Right.
Danner is not a police officer. Maybe they don't know that, but I think they do. I mean, I guess Elizabeth Perkins could round them up as they're trying to leave her extremely large property, but her and what army? So
yeah.
Why are they still there?
She is quite imperious.
She is imperious, but after, a day or two, I think you would say, should I hang around here until somebody accuses me of murder?
Right. Or should I maybe
get out?
Split?
It just seems odd that they haven't, nobody has disappeared.
Right.
But, they're aware that it's a TV show and that if they split, they will miss
getting their own episode
clues, and they will miss their own episode. And whether they're guilty or not, they're going to get a big scene at the end. So,
right.
I guess maybe the food is very good and the furnishings are comfortable. So, where am I?
Does everyone have their own yurt?
That's right. I would think in particular Grace's parents might just scoop her up and get her the heck out of there, but
right. But they, her father, played by Ken Jeong,
yes,
he's kind of a hustler. He's trying to, take advantage of the situation in any way that he can.
That's true. I guess everybody
he likes the proximity to wealth and power.
Yes, that is true. So I guess everybody has their individual motive for hanging around.
Right.
Conveniently.
Yes.
But, they could go and come back. I don't know. Don't ask too many questions.
That's right, Terry.
Sometimes you have to let art wash over you.
Yep. That's what we've learned from doing round 2.
That is true. Mm-hmm. So anything else you want to say about Hannah? Other than, well done.
Yeah, lots of fun. I watched it twice. I started over as soon as it was done because I thought, I wonder if I missed some stuff. So I'm just going to hit it again.
So cute. I did think that the thing with that typewriter key was going to wind up being it was a gift, because that seems like something she would do,
Right.
She has this old typewriter that she got when they met, and so she would give the G to her brother.
Right.
But even without all the backstory.
Yes.
But turns out correctly. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of backstory, brothers and sisters. You know that backstory about them having a sister that they didn't know about? But we talked about that last week. Remember them having a company, Free and Clear, that didn't know anything to Holly Harper? That's gone. Geez. Remember Robert not wanting to have kids secretly? He's all into it now.
That's right. Remember Scotty not wanting to get married? Not wanting to get domestic partnered?
Yes.
But that was very sweet.
And remember Kevin not being very romantic. Instead, it was pretty sweet. It was. Remember Saul dating women? All sorts of Sarah and Graham.
Yep.
We're just fixing to start completely over for season 3.
Just shake everything up. There's still like a third of a season left of 2. I mean, this was 15. This was episode 15. There's like 20.
But I think there's only, is there 20?
One moment while I check.
I thought we were coming up to the very end of this season. I think it's only 16.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yep, next to last.
16, that's it.
The penultimate episode of season 2. They're putting the chess pieces in place. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that there were more in a season also, but nope. I was looking ahead to see what's coming, and not much. But also, we should say, remember Justin and Rebecca being brother and sister? And then not being brother and sister? Too many Anyway.
Right.
Justin finally admits to Rebecca that for a minute there, he thought he had feelings for her. And then she thinks about it for a day and comes back and says, no, it's okay. I'm not really your sister. And then he's like, you lied to me. Get away, woman. No.
She got kicked out of a family home twice in one episode. This poor girl.
She's working hard. Yeah, she's pretty much.
She was saying she was quite mean to her mother, I guess.
She was quite mean to her mother, but
I mean, admittedly, Holly.
She is her mother's daughter, too.
Yes.
But, spurring Holly then to make a pitch for saving Ojai Foods that involved her being in charge of everything. So, I'll show you.
Right.
But poor Sarah. She decides not to throw Uncle Saul to the wolves for whatever reason. Because, she takes responsibility for the fact that she should have told Graham. She shouldn't have said,
yes,
could you pass this note to my boyfriend, to Saul. And so, but then everybody is just like, Sarah, how could you have done this? What an irresponsible, terrible person you are. How could you have not seen what a disaster it was going to be? And she had to just sit there and eat it. And then when it turns out it was Saul's fault, I didn't hear people saying the same mean things to him. Mm-hmm. It was sort of like, oh, Saul, why would you do that? Oh, poor Saul.
What are you thinking about?
Not fair, but he finally, I guess, after having a DUI and needing Kevin to come get him in jail, finally comes out to Kevin, who's like, yeah.
Like, no kidding. Mm-hmm.
But Saul's feeling bad. I didn't quite get the connection between I wanted to make this huge business deal to change my life.
Yeah.
How about I wanted to go to Milo's house and make out with him to change my life? That I would get.
Right.
How this business deal then suddenly, I don't know, but whatever. They finally went there. Right. And it inspires Kevin to say, I don't want to wait for my entire life. Right. I don't want to lose my life. And go and propose to Scotty.
Right.
Actually, not unromantically.
No, it was very
sweet.
It was
very sweet and heartfelt, and no mention of health insurance.
That's right.
I mean, we can be together. And also, you know what? You can get that thing looked at. But still.
Right.
Straight romance.
Yes. And the synopsis on IMDb for this episode is twice as long as all the others. And also, it just trails off unfinished. Like, the last sentence is, and what can Kevin do to ... And that's it. So.
And it also has a picture of Kitty and Robert's fertility doctor.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever.
For no reason.
Hi, Tom Virtue. Nice to see you, man. You play a good doctor, but
I thought that this still photo was from a completely different show when I looked at it on IMDb. Then I was like, well, I guess it's the doctor. I guess he's the most important thing that happened in this entire...
They should have had a picture of poor Dave Annable trying to play both lust and repulsion at the same time. He was working hard, that boy. I gotta hand it to him, It's like, so, you think she's your sister, but you still love her and want her, but you think she's your sister. No, then you think she's not. No, then you think she is. Just play it. It'll be fine.
Right. You can do it.
He's gonna have an aneurysm.
We believe in you.
And Kevin's reaction to it was a little... I mean, as he did then go back and say, well, you didn't grow up. It's not like you grew up with her thinking she was your sister all that time you met as adults. Yes.
Right.
That is, that is not irrelevant in this situation.
No.
You can see how this would happen. And everybody should calm down and think about that, including Justin and Rebecca.
Yeah.
But how long, set the clock, how long do you think before they get back together?
Oh. Well, we have to have a cliffhanger for the next season, right? In the next episode.
Yep.
So.
We'll see. We'll see in the next episode. So, that was pretty much everything on that episode, right?
Yeah, Nora just was inserting herself into the business problem.
Yes.
Like, that was her main role in this episode.
Yeah. Well, this is going to put a big crunch in her Ronald McDonald House plan, which we've already forgotten about, apparently.
Right, because Ojai was supposed to pay for that.
That's right.
Don't think that's happening now.
Nope. Doesn't seem like, unless Holly approves it.
Yeah.
And she's in a good mood. She's feeling warmly towards the Walkers.
She's feeling charitable.
I'll be fine. I'm sure. Just go in there, Nora, and say, please give me money. Right. I'm sure that'll work out great.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, next week, we will be watching the Afterparty Sebastian, dun dun dun, and Brothers and Sisters episode called Prior Commitments. And remember that if nothing else, Brothers and Sisters makes your life look super simple. Anyway, so now we move on to our newest segment, which is Catherine's Library Find of the Week. No, I should say Catherine's Library Find of the Week.
That is, it does not flow the way.
It's not melodious, but
it's the way Nicole's
make it work.
Instagram minute. That was right. More exciting. Yes. But anyway.
So what do you got this week?
Okay, so this just made me laugh. You know, there is a children's book about anything and everything, as we have learned, right? I mean, Les Mis for babies, right, and on and on. An outfit called Bellwether Media has a series of books for kids, called Behind the Brand, that are about Minecraft, Lego, Disney, Pokemon. So presumably it's like, here's how they soak your parents for as much money as they can by creating this brand that you can't get enough of. Like, what?
What age? What's the age? Oh, 8 to 11 years, it says.
That's a stretch, if you ask me. I mean, it's like, you know, it's sort of not an early reader, like a very early chapter book kind of
marketing level. For children.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Well, we are exposing capitalism, I think.
I guess, yeah. But in a way that's positive, you know, that the companies are like, yes, I'll participate in this endeavor.
Wow.
Anyway,
I'm trying to imagine the child who would be excited to get this book and read it, because it is, yes. I mean, it's got pictures of like the founders and the different things and how much things were worth at various times. And this is little Edgar from the Afterparty would have been super into these books. Edgar and Sebastian would have been out in the back, behind the house, reading these books and saying, one day I want to be a famous business person.
A famous capitalist. Yes. Right. I mean, it definitely, as you know or can imagine, you know, once something is popular with kids, they're going to find every single angle and extension. And, you know, and there's kids who, if it says Minecraft on it, they need to see it.
I guess.
So that's, I guess, who this is for.
My kids had like those bios of child actors that some outfit churns out relentlessly.
Right.
And easy chapter read. But this is for people who are, the kids who are not into whatever the newest TV craze is, but want to know, what is the, annual earnings of this company? Right. I enjoy their video games. I want to know. I want a business prospectus.
Yes.
Please, and I'm sure they're out
ways. There. Yes. So I just thought that was funny and ridiculous, but also as a little palate cleanser, I would like to recommend the works of Jared Chapman.
Jared Chapman sounds like the name of somebody on Brothers and Sisters. Wouldn't that be like a...
Well, his website is actually doesn't seem to have everything on it, but the book that I first encountered is called Vegetables in Underwear, and it is delightful. Like, that is adorable. Just the illustrations. You have to go look at the pictures, because like this broccoli with his little briefs is sticking his little leg into his briefs on the cover is just adorable. And I discovered this book, and then the very next day I encountered Vegetables in Pajamas.
Oh.
A sequel of sorts. And but like I said, it's not on Jared's website. He needs to get on that.
I had no idea vegetables had such a full life.
Yeah. They wear underwear, they wear pajamas, you know.
Wow. All there under the soil where we can't see, apparently.
Right. I think there was a fruit one, too. Hold on.
This is adorable.
Fruits in suits. So,
is this like a cute way to get your kid to eat their vegetables and fruit? Although, wouldn't you, once you had seen them as cartoon characters wearing underwear and pajamas, would you want to eat them? Yeah, right. When you get that broccoli on your plate, you're going to go, no, where's his underwear? What happened to him? I want to put pajamas on him right now.
And keep him as a pet. Yes.
My fruit doesn't have a suit. He's so naked. He's so embarrassed. Yeah, I think these could backfire, but they're adorable.
They are so cute. Yes.
I could totally see reading these to my kids back in the day.
Right? I mean, kids love underwear. Anything having to do with underwear, right?
That is what somebody said before these were published.
Right.
Everybody loves underwear.
Do it. So, recommended.
So fun. Well, thank you for that. Interesting to know about.
Right.
And now we are going to take a spin back through the archives. We need like a little whirly back in time sound to go here. And see what we were talking about a year ago, 2 years ago, and 3 years ago this week. And if you want to go back further than that, keep an eye on our social media because I'm going to be promoting old stuff all week. It's fun. They're still timely. They're evergreen. You're going to see one and you're going to say, I am dealing with this right now. I am going to listen to this and laugh. But this week, let's see, a year ago this week, we were talking about what's keeping you up at night. And I have found that a really good way to have nothing keeping me up at night is to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Because then by like 10 o'clock, I can barely keep my eyes open. And when I let myself go to bed at 11 o'clock, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's been very nice.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there will be things. Just a brief moment of sleepiness at the moment. Do you have anything keeping you up at night, like a kid newly driving and, you know,
newly driving,
to move away.
Getting ready to move away. And for this week, camping at a big airplane and aviation show. I don't know what you call it, but a gathering of aviation enthusiasts, and people camp.
So not camping at a camp, but going to a place and camping there.
Going to a place and camping there with friends. And, oh boy, the dogs are barking.
Well, I got a lawnmower out my window, so.
There was one day a few nights ago that just as I was going to bed, and I was trying to go to bed early because I had to get up and be at work at 6 a.m., my son called and said, well, there's storms coming, so we are going to come home. So he and his friend showed up and slept indoors for a night. But he also had to be at work at 6 a.m. because he's working at this event. And his shift is at 6 in the morning. So all three of us, the poor the friend was just dragged along for the ride, but we were all up at 5 and out the door. So so yeah, it's I mean, I know people like you've been getting up at 6, and many people are accustomed to. I am not. I mean, during the school year, I got up at 6:30 regularly. But now on days that I work a 6 a.m. shift, I have to get up at 5 in order to get up, drink my oats overnight, and hit the road. And yeah, it's not so hard getting up, but it's definitely hard trying to force myself to go to bed early and fall asleep early.
Yeah. That's the thing. You have to go to bed early so that you can get
right.
And this week I had a work project and I just said, this is ridiculous. I am just going to stay up until it's done. And I was up till, well past my bedtime. Yeah. A time that in the past would have concerned me not at all. And I was just wrecked afterwards. So
Yeah.
I have, whether it's been the getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning or it's the being 64 years old, I can no longer pull an all-nighter, and I am a little upset by it. I'm mourning my loss of all-nighter ability, because that was always my fallback, that I would just either I would stay up all night or I would take a nap and wake up and then work. And now I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
My brain is going, yeah, you know what? That was fun, but you don't need me again for about 24 hours, right?
Right.
But I do.
Need to refresh.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
But it would be nice, if you could count on a little teamwork. And 2 years ago, this week, we were talking about our teamwork dreams that were mostly being quashed, were they not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That do we like working with large groups? Do we like working with just another person? Do we like being in charge? And does that mean we have to do everything, or can we delegate? I have not had a lot of success with delegating, nor finding team members willing to do my bidding. I'm no longer
We're talking about in the family or in the workplace?
In the family or in the workplace. Well, the workplace is me.
Yeah.
So, although I will say, okay, in the workplace, I wasn't thinking of that, but I have worked remotely for a company for more than 5 years, I think now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there longer than anybody who is working now, I'm pretty sure. And they have, over time, grown and grown and grown and grown. So now there's all these people doing essentially what I used to do, all just me. But, the work has expanded somewhat. Mm-hmm. And there's all this teamwork stuff now that they want to do. And it's like, I wanted teamwork. If I wanted to be part of a team, I would be in an office right now. Just give me my work and let me do my work. Don't have meetings. Don't have required orientations for new tools. Don't have Slack chats that are kind of mandatory. I just want to do my work. I just want to sit back. And can something be mandatory for a freelancer? Can you say you must be on Zoom at this time?
Right.
I'll have Zoom on my computer. Will I be in the same room?
Will I be paying attention?
And it's like it's for a tool that I use a very small part of, and they're changing to a new way of doing it. And I've looked at it, and the tiny thing that I do is about the same. So thanks, I'm good.
Right.
But no, you must come to this 2-hour orientation and sit and watch on Zoom as we show it off. It's like, but do I? Do I really?
Right.
So, I think I'm
they'll
over
pay
teamwork.
you for that time. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I bill that time, but I'll just be I'm going to be working on something else while it's on, so I'll just bill for that. But it's just, and it's never made clear, bill for your time using this designation. It's sort of like, well, why wouldn't you want to know? Of course you want to know. We're gifting you this information.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm sort of anti-teamwork all over the place. There is no I in team, and I am the only I here. So therefore, I don't know. It's young people wanting to have fellowship with one another, I think. And they do not realize how elderly and grumpy I am, or they would never invite me.
No, they wouldn't.
That's okay, Tara. You just go do your thing. We're going to be talking over here. I don't know. You have any teamwork thoughts at the moment? Or you're now working at an actual physical place. Do you have a library team? Say nice things about them in case they ever come upon this.
They listen. Yeah. It's there's a group of people who do what I do, and there's usually 2 or 3 of us doing it at one time, right? Because there's 3 like computer stations where we can scan things. So you can only have 3 doing that exact thing at a time. Occasionally, if there's a 4th person scheduled, then they'll go do something else like shelf books or that's it. Shelf books. That's the only other thing.
That's not really a team sport, right? Here, I'll pass you the book. You put it on the shelf.
Right.
Score.
The shelving definitely. And the other job too, but there is a lot of sort of negotiation because there's various tasks that, one person at a time needs to do. Like go and check the outdoor bin, right? The book drop.
Right.
And so it's sort of like, well, I'll go do that. And, oh, no, I can do it. You know, there's sort of that goes on. Or if it's shelving, like, I'll shelve today because you did it yesterday or whatever it is, you know. And there's also, you know, there's people that have been there a long time and they have their...
Oh, yes.
They have their preferences and they have their ways of doing things. And,
yes.
You know, the supervisor is actually new. Just right before I got there, she started. And so there's definitely some, you know, butting heads. Like, there's some behind the scenes, like, oh, I don't know why she does it this way. And I'm like, well, I don't know, because that's the only way I know, because that's the way she taught me. So, so yeah, there's negotiation of that. But, you know, most of the people are good to work with. And, you know, we chat a little bit here and there about the books we're encountering and the vegetables in underwear. And so, yeah, it's mostly good being around people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it certainly makes a difference who those people are, right?
Right.
Like, I got pretty lucky, I'd say.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Might be nice every now and then. But
I mean, it's
very
it's
old and set in my ways.
right?
Yeah, it really is. That's true. That's
you
true.
Just don't know.
And family team wise, not so good. Although my daughter is picking up the dog's poop on a regular basis, so and feeding her. So yay for that, and walking her sometimes. So very pleased about that.
Did you try my sandwich board idea?
Not yet, but it's very tempting. Because I'll tell you, that dog, more and more, she is just stretching her paws all the way out across hallways and the entrance to the kitchen. If anybody's in the kitchen, she would just sort of lay in the doorway and look at you in a recriminating way. Like, I like food. You got snacks in there? I bet you have snacks. And it's so odd because she's a very, very black dog. And the brown part of her eye is very large. So if she looks sideways, you could see the whites. But if she's looking straight at you, there are just two little gleaming dots in the middle of this black face. Right. It's really odd. And she works it. So, you know, you'll just see this black thing and then this glint in your direction. Like, she's looking at me. But anyway, she's well taken care of. She gets her snacks quite a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
Yes, 4 people, and she can dilute each one of them to, I haven't had a snack all day. Please.
I'm so hungry.
And somebody else from another part of the house will go, I just gave her cheese. Anyway, she's the newest member of the team, and she's finding her place in the organization.
That's
right. We also, 3 years ago this week, talked about household hacks making us happy. Have you had any new household hack, Catherine?
I don't think this is really a hack, but, you know, speaking of dogs, like, we have such a morning routine. And on the days that I work at 6 a.m., they're quite lost because, you know, every morning I make myself shredded vegetables, no underwear, shredded vegetables with eggs.
You mean the vegetables have no underwear, not you?
Right. I do not. I continue to wear underwear.
I had to think for a second.
So typically I get this bag of shredded vegetables. I dump it in a little frying pan. And so once I put my portion in, then each dog gets a little sprinkle of shredded vegetables on their kibble. And then after I cooked my food, then I scrape the pan into their dish, you know, whatever little bits are left. And then after I eat it, I let them lick the plate. And so it's a whole system. And boy, are they, you know, on it. They know.
Are they not then of the understanding that it's okay to lick plates all the time?
well, I have to put it down on the floor,
Okay.
like it. So they don't really expect it other times.
Okay.
They know
I would
it's
think
the
they would say,
breakfast
"Oh,
thing.
Mom forgot to put these plates down on the floor. We'll help her."
They can't get up.
Okay.
It's high.
Yeah.
It's like a
Layla totally could get up there. So,
yeah.
so yeah, it's very tempting to give them people food,
Right.
especially if it's healthy.
And also, I use one dog gets a special vitamin in the morning, and I distract the one with the plate, and then the one who gets the vitamin knows to come walk over by the vitamins, and she leaves the plate in order to get the vitamin.
You sneak. Because the other one would want it, even though it was a vitamin, even though it's medicine, it's still, why is that other dog getting something I'm not getting?
Yeah, and this package, it's meant to taste good,
Right.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, this is not really a household hack.
Well, I'll keep on the food hacks, though. I don't know where I heard about this, and if I heard about this from you on this podcast, take credit for it. But
Okay.
somewhere I heard that if you are having cereal and you like that sweet, sweet cereal, but you know it's not that good for you, that you fill most of the bowl with the healthy cereal, and then you put the sweet cereal on top and mix it in. And then you will get that delicious taste, but you won't have that much of it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying that lately, and it works very well. And I throw in some almonds and some raisins, and it doesn't really taste like a bowl of Cheerios anymore. It tastes like something sweet and delicious.
Something yummy.
Yeah. So that's a
Yeah,
that's a thing
I
to
don't
try.
think that was me, but I have employed that strategy.
Okay.
But I don't think we talked about it.
I like it a lot. In fact, I am just taking out whatever boxes of cereal we have in the pantry and taking a handful of each of them and mixing them together. So it's like new every time.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter can be counted on to always get some sweet crap. So I'll always have something nice to eat. And a little cinnamon toast crunch on the top. Yes, please. But anyway.
She shares it without, or she doesn't realize that she's sharing.
I've mentioned to her.
Okay.
But, and I've also taken to drinking orange juice with seltzer, which is not at all a mimosa, but you could pretend. So,
Yeah.
it's at least sparkly. Just like our conversation.
That's right.
But we are starting to go flat, so
Right. So that's it for the Parenting Roundabout Weekly Roundup. You can find all our episodes on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. You can also talk to us on our Facebook page or on Instagram or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/mamitude, where you can find links to a lot of the things we've talked about over the years. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Bye, Terry.
bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.